Beetle, the lighthouse that calls you. I've worked the coast for most of my life, and I've seen plenty of strange things at sea, lights that don't belong to any vessel, voices that carry on the wind when there's no one around. But what happened to me on Gull's Point? That wasn't strange. It was something else. Something I still can't explain. It started when I took a temporary assignment as lighthouse keeper on a small island off the Maine coast. The last keeper had left suddenly, personal reasons, they said, and I needed time away from people anyway. The storms had been getting worse that year, and the department needed someone to keep the light running. When I arrived, the place looked like it hadn't been touched in decades, rust on the railings, salt on every wall. The moment I stepped onto the dock, I heard the low groan of the foghorn echoing out to sea. It sounded heavy, almost alive, and it made the air vibrate in my chest. The man who dropped me off frowned when he heard it. "Strange," he said. "That horn's been broken since spring." He checked the switch, confirmed it was dead, and laughed it off. "Just the wind playing tricks," he said before pushing off toward the mainland. As the boat drifted away, he called back, "Try not to listen too closely out here. The ocean's got a way of calling your name." The first few weeks were quiet. My days were simple: keep the light burning, log the weather, fix what I could. But every night, right around 11:47, the foghorn would blow, 3 long blasts. Always 3. And every time, I'd hear something answer it from out in the fog. At first, I thought it was another ship replying, some lost vessel in the mist. But there was never any light, no signal, no radar return. Just that slow, wet sound that rose from somewhere beyond the dark waves, mimicking the horn like it was communicating. One evening, while cleaning the maintenance shed, I found the old keeper's journal wedged behind an oil drum. The pages were warped and smelled like salt. The handwriting was barely legible, scrawled in haste. It said things like, "The horn sounds itself. I've seen the lever move. I've seen the sea light up when it answers." Another line read, "They say it's the ones who drown calling home." I would have laughed it off if not for the final page. It just said, "If anyone finds this, don't answer the horn." I should have taken that warning seriously. A few nights later, a storm rolled in, the kind that shakes windows out of their frames and makes the whole tower sway. The rain came down in sheets, the wind howled through the cracks, and as I climbed the stairs to the lantern room, the light went out. Complete blackness. And then the horn sounded. 3 long, hollow notes that cut through the storm. But this time, the answering call came faster, much closer. It was deeper, wetter, like something huge was surfacing from the deep. I ran up to the lantern room with my flashlight, trying to get the generator started again, and through the lightning flashes, I saw it, just for a second. Out on the black water, something moved. It was too big to be a ship, too strange to be a whale. I saw faint, flickering lights under the surface, like a city glowing far below the waves. The sound came again, that low, drawn-out note, and it vibrated through the glass so hard that one of the panes cracked. I stumbled down the stairs toward the generator room. The air was thick with salt and oil. I could hear the wind hammering the door. Then I realized, it wasn't the wind. The door was shaking. 3 heavy bangs. Then silence. And in that silence, I heard breathing. Wet, dragging, uneven. And then, clear as I'm talking to you now, a voice whispered my name from the other side of the door. "Open. The light. Must not go out." The voice didn't sound human. It sounded like someone trying to speak through water. Then came the scratching, slow, deliberate lines being carved into the wood. I could hear the nails or claws dragging deep. When the generator finally roared to life, the light beam swept across the ocean, and whatever was outside the door moved. I caught a glimpse through the small window, something pale and slick sliding back into the sea. The foghorn stopped. The night went quiet, except for the storm. When they found me 2 days later, I was still in shock. The relief crew said the horn mechanism was completely rusted, filled with salt and seaweed like something had crawled inside it. The door was covered in long gouges, 5 deep scratches, each about the length of a human hand. They asked if I'd seen a ship. I said no. They didn't press further. But one of the older men, before I left, said quietly, "You're not the first one to hear it. They call that stretch the Drown Channel. Those waters are full of wrecks. And when the fog rolls in, some of them still try to come home." That was 5 years ago. I don't work the coast anymore. I moved inland, as far from the ocean as I could. But every now and then, when the night is quiet and the wind is right, I swear I can still hear it, 3 long blasts, faint but clear. Always at 11:47. And somewhere, far away, something still answers.